Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be doing, the very first, is upgrade our equipment. There's the tab, and there we go. Time to sit back and get some easy work done.
I wouldn't necessarily say easy work, but like I said, these upgrades will expedite the process.
Quick question, Joe. Do the upgrades go away when we die? And if they do we have to repurchase them with new money?
Thankfully, no. Once you purchase everything like Donald just did, it's a permanent decision.
That's all I need. And now I'm dead. Well, isn't that just great?
Donald, you need to lock in. Well, with all four of these things active, and possibly more in the next few nights, I really don't want to be struggling on this forever.
How many times have you said that, Obama? And how many times have you heard the one and only world's best security guard respond?
Pay attention to noise, Don. That's probably one of the most important factors in this game, similar to FNAF 4. Motion detector and audio work great, but they're not entirely reliable. You need your innate security guard and businessman nature to do its job.
Give me a second here.
One.
All right, don't be smart. You never were anyways. Okay, I think we're good. Never mind, wacky warts paste just clogged the AC and I have an infestation of creation coming down my alley.
Donald, I think you might want to tend to the overheating. I don't like the thought of being in a Dutch oven.
Is it too fitting to say pizza oven?
Is this what the illegal aliens see after we run out of space in Arizona?
I always come back.
Phew. This is going to be a long recording, isn't it?
All right, this is the golden run. We got our big boy pants on and our hearing aids cranked to the max. Not even a mouse would get past me.
Keep in mind that they can fly down the vents now that you have all of them. They'll be attacking in short bursts too, so you really got to keep on your toes.
Of course, my customers are too busy devouring fruit punch to notice the vent monsters.
I wonder if they hear the ads too. That's got to strike fear in the pockets of some poor parent down in the galleys of the restaurant.
Probably the sound of the world's best security guard piling up his bag while he has to fend himself off like a dead rising game.
Bittersweet, but fitting.
With all due respect, Donald, I think I've lasted longer on 2 hours of sleep and a Pepto-Bismol.
You want the keyboard next? You get the keyboard next. Wait, what is this?
What the? It's Scraptrap.
Interesting. We seem to have this weird aura of luck. First Shadow Bonnie, then some other rare screens in FNAF 4. Now this.
So you're saying we got another rare screen?
I cannot believe we willingly looked at this car crash victim and said, yeah, let's bring him inside.
This is what senior citizens look like after eating at Golden Corral for 2 hours.
Well, that was a donut hole of crap. And at the end of the alley is the entrance to the restaurant again. That doesn't give us a bypass on the night, does it?
Scraptrap carved inside you like a Picasso painting. You tell me, Donald.
Okay, this is my absolutely last attempt. Then you're taking over, Obama. I've been filled with cream like a donut stick, and honestly, I don't think I can take another refill from Scraptrap.
I wish our forefathers like Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson were here today to witness the defiling things that just seep from Donald's mouth like an overabsorbed sponge.
At that point, I think they just would have headed back to the monarchy of England.
You guys always want to throw insults when my back is turned, but beware, these thick cutlets of muscle have ears of their own.
Then you would think that you would be able to hear them come up from behind you, but it still seems like we're struggling on this office part.
Don't look now, Obama, but we might be finally making some real motion now. As soon as this despicable ad stops lubing the inside of my ears, I can get back to fighting for my life.
Well, at least you're actually fighting this time instead of flopping on the floor like a fish out of a basket. I might recommend that you do the longer tasks next time. That way it's just the easier stuff that you have to manage.
My strategy is all mainline, Joe. I have the very best strategy, the very best. Fort Knox couldn't be more secure than this office right at this very moment.
This isn't much of an office. We have some old Sprite cranberry gifted from LeBron, some crinkled up warnings from the tax department, and a monitor that looks like it was used by Jared Fogle.
I see, the Joe Biden classic. And these drawings too, there's no amount of words in the English dictionary that come close to the similarities I'm seeing.
I'm not even in the line of fire, but I'm catching strays.
I think these little pipe cloggers run around in a corn maze until they magically find my luxurious hair blowing in the air vent. Why do we even have a treasure map of vents in here anyways?
How have you just started noticing these small details when we're almost halfway done with this game?
I'm also almost halfway done with printing these supplies, so take your condescending attitude and ruin the gas prices with them.
I think both of you are focusing on the wrong things here.
You don't even know what focus is, Joe.
How does this happen every time?
Known I'd find you.
Every single time. It's like watching a blind person fall down a flight of stairs and trying not to laugh.
You were right about this being a long recording session. We're only 10 minutes in, and it feels like we've lived through half of a James Bond movie.
I'm sick of Vanilla Ice and Ice Spice running for presidency by posting rap videos and twerking montages while I'm trying to live through a battle royale. If you want the stage, go ahead and take it.
Schizophrenia is meeting MTV, so I'll let you handle the mental patient and take over, Joe.
I don't think patient-to-patient care is allowed.
Donald, I have absolutely zero clue what you're talking about. That might have possibly been the easiest night I've ever done.
Oh, but the intern is not going to show all the times he failed, is he?
All I'm saying is that I wouldn't look at his bumper
Don't forget
stickers.
Saturday. You want them all to be in one place.
Saturday. And why does this guy talk about all in one place?
Before you is an animatronic found in the back alley.
Great, this again.
Well, since I already completed the office part, I might as well complete the inspection too.
Checklist before claiming it as salvage. Or
Wait,
if you
no one is
choose
here?
to,
Already
then
inside?
go back into
You
the
mean there's
alley
another
where you found
animatronic
it.
that got in?
Payment.
What now?
Please make your choice now.
You're telling me that we only have one choice? What?
What just happened?
Don't forget Saturday. You want them all to be in one place.
You already said that? What are you even talking about?
Joe, what did we do wrong? What else got in?
Before you freak out, let me explain. Lefty, who was $5 on the shop, was actually going to be a salvage. That's why he snuck up in the vents and why we were attacked by salvages only. None of the other modern animatronics got to us.
This game is constantly reinventing the wheel, and all I'm trying to do is run a business off of a flat tire known as Obama.
And somehow, even with a flat tire, Lightning McDonald left me in a hit and run.
Guys, what the fuck are we even talking about anymore?
I like this nice little bump in our income right here. A calm $7 grand a day will help keep the homeless crackheads away. And a shiny new ball pit too, of course.
I thought we were getting the anti-gravity spinner thing. The one where it looks like it'll cause your colon to flip inside out and start doing the limbo.
Listen, Obama, I'm here to make the numbers go through the graph. If we're talking about the typhoon that wiped out half of Japan, it's from the rare finds auction, and some kid might pre-order a head injury.
So what exactly do you have in mind to purchase?
Before I consider anything, I have to review this sponsorship. 5,000? Yes.
You really have no thought for how we are going to survive in the office. You know that?
The numbers, Obama. You just had to witness that increase in revenue. This is what empires are made of. We will overcome adversity through tenacity.
Well, now what's the plan?
You know what? I'm feeling a bit spicy today. Not exactly big cash, but let these little head stumps lose a shoe in this thing and their parents will be buying pizza for hours.
I'm not against that. The only thing that I have a concern for is the massive amount of liability that we've netted.
Since we have already purchased pretty much everything under the sun when it comes to equipment upgrades, we don't have to worry about upgrades later on. You can spend away without really any concern.
That's all I needed to hear.
Time to get a second mortgage on my house.
All right, time to put this baby to the test. Give me the money, ball pit.
I'm not even being mean when I ask this, Donald, but how did you miss that bad?
In the words of Big Sean, last night took an L, but tonight I bounced back.
I will say those Faz points are quickly climbing the tower. Now to avoid a second hip surgery.
Oh, what? You're kidding me.
Medic!
Humpty Dumpty did not have a great fall, buddy. You just sustained some minor brain trauma.
And the little mascot outlasts a couple of broken necks and keeps his long-term memory for another day.
Oh, would you look at this greenery? Prepare to crack that skull again, Handy. You're getting put directly in the line of fire.
Donald's Faz point addiction isn't something I allotted on my December 2023 bingo card, but I won't complain.
Business is about sacrifice and building off of what others lay down. If a couple of head injuries take place, you throw them a gift basket and they forget all about it. Like I said, business is an art form, and so is the art of the deal. I told you this already, Joe. Shave off some of that ear hair so you can hear me next time.
Those are cotton balls, Don. I use them when you pop your voice box to the aero engine setting.
Can I borrow one?
I don't know. The inside of my ears look close to the Vietnam War.
That's a funny way of saying civil.
Donald, what are you doing back here?
Listening to the intrusive thoughts. The Burger King needs to come down the street and slap his brother's gold tip.
The fact that you went back to this thing after it gave you a heart attack is dedication.
If gambling ever taught me anything, it's that most people quit before they strike rich. So make sure to keep gambling no matter what.
Not sponsored by Caesar's Palace.
What?
And strike 3, he's out.
I don't know if the gambling records are favoring us right now.
$5,000. Let's go.
Are you serious right now? What luck.
I told you poor spirit politicians that I had a feeling we had big payouts. Taste the dirtiest part of my sack.
So now that you're ahead, now it's the perfect time to quit, right?
Just because you get ahead in the first lap doesn't mean that you quit the race. Now it's time to really put the pedal to the metal. This game hates to see a white man winning.
With Donald blinded by riches, it's safe to say that I'll just be doing the office part from here on out. I'd rather not be caught in another mousetrap for 5 hours.
Okay, you really saw the way this game is poorly programmed, and you decide to blame me for everything?
It does get difficult, but this game is the hardest to figure out the strategy. Even if you look up the techniques like you did, a lot of this is really just trial and error.
I'm going to kick my own shins in at this point. Scott voted for me, but can't tell his animatronic creations to not target the man who makes his games great again.
I was just getting into the entire fandom when all that went down. And did you know he got quite the amount of criticism when it was revealed he made political donations to the Republican side?
Yeah, and a leopard has spots. I mean, imagine making a donation to the Salvation Army and you get flack for not enabling Philadelphia with crack addicts. Opinions and morals are illegal to them.
Listen, all I do is sign some papers, hold some conferences, and play some horror games. I don't scroll on Tumblr and try to look at the sweat glands of Freddy Fazbear.
I'm too locked in on the vent sounds, and all I hear in the background is sweat glands and Freddy Fazbear. I can't leave you guys alone for 5 seconds.
Let some old men ramble, Obama. Just focus on keeping cool in your sauna.
I don't want it to fly under the radar, though. You're doing a darn rootin' tootin' good job, Barack. Just make sure to keep the ventilation and the heat in check.
Didn't know we were recording with George Bush over here? Bringing back Texas and obesity, are we?
Ironic, but have you even budged on the whole George Bush thing?
Really making me repeat myself here. Look, we're both Republicans and we have similar policies, but he has the audacity to come at me for weak security when you look at his presidency. I'm avoiding him like the plague.
Okay, so while Donald has kept his grudge match with every human being alive, I'm on my last ordering task, and then we only have 3 more maintenance tasks to do. Although we're doing really good, I don't want it to get to my head.
It's not a grudge. I just don't need the scent of the whole Florida Everglades brushing through my nostrils. And a list of many other things too, but it is mainly the stuff he said.
Okay, only 2 more tasks. Let's keep noise at a minimum right now. I really want to get through this first try.
This is the last one, Barack. You got this.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
How did you just...
Someone call a fireman and tell them I'm smoking this game right now.
Donald, you might just have to relinquish that title of yours.
Don't you dare start that again, man. Obama gets on a lucky hot streak and I get grilled for a fluke.
Donald, I don't think we can forget the smosh montage of death that you gave us.
I also gave us 232 returning customers. How about that, Obama? You haven't secured the profits I've secured for this company.
Somehow, with dumpster fires for management, we have yet to burn the restaurant down.
And with no new lawsuits, we don't have to go the insurance fraud route.
Give it some time.
We got absolutely 0 profit yesterday. This gravity vortex is still way too expensive. Well, when you can't do one thing, talk to the prize king. I think that's in the Bill of Rights somewhere.
I would add it to the Bill of Rights, but I think you might kick it out to the highway after a few times playing.
Don, this is going nowhere. Stop gambling our tokens away.
Just one fun time, chica!
What?
Going nowhere? Suck me dry, Obama. You're a fraud.
You know what this means, right? He has the Chica animatronic showing a lot of skin.
Someone get that glitter? Might have to pop one out really quick.
This is an interesting decision, Don. Why did you purchase doors, of all things?
I gave up on the gravity vortex, which I'm super upset about. But you never know. Maybe this will slow down the scrap heaps from hopping into our vents during the office.
I can assure you that it won't.
I mean, I guess it was worth a try.
Well, look at our palace that we built at the end of our first week. Wait, isn't there an event or something? That speaker guy wanted us to do something.
Oh no. Do we have to do something specific during the office segment? Or did Donald forget to do something during blueprint mode?
No, blueprint mode is fine right now. And as far as the office part goes, it's just best to play out as routine as it is. Let's hope we're not here for 5 more hours doing it.
If this is foreshadowing, I'm drowning you in the ball pit.
All right, this is where everything comes together or falls apart. I'll be honest, if you guys could keep the side conversations at a minimum, I would really appreciate it.
No problem. We'll keep it shut.
As long as we get through this, I don't really care. I'm still the best security guard, though.
You can keep the name tag as long as I can keep my ears. I noticed that completing the printing tasks first might be the move. Get the longest and loudest task out of the way. Lets me hear a lot more.
That is smart, Barack.
This hurts me not to talk. What is our audience supposed to do? Just sit there and watch us play games?
Don, that is literally what they already do. The only difference is that we talk about felt teddy bears and attack each other's character.
Fair point. I'll go back to being quiet.
William, I understand you're fascinated, but please keep it out of my face. And maybe consider a tic-tac while you're at it.
Just giving you comms really quickly. You're all done with the printing task. Only the other 2 sections to go.
Thanks, Joe.
You're letting it get too hot. Might want to throw on the fan.
Thanks for looking out for me, Joe. Might not know what to do without you being here.
Might as well crawl inside of him at this rate.
Okay, this is the last wave, guys. This might be smooth sailing, and then we'll be home free. Here we go.
Last one.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
First attempt, Barack. You're a madman. You're the best.
I'll admit it, you did very good, Obama, the absolute best. I simply couldn't figure it out. This game is truly terrible.
Played right into our hands.
Circus, baby?
Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you?
No, I was peer pressured
No,
by an old man.
this was a gift for us.
Excuse me?
You gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you to. All of those little souls in one place,
The queen of yapping is back.
just for us. A gift. Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete.
Complete?
I will make you proud, Daddy.
I'm not proud at all.
Watch,
Gross, Don.
listen, and be full.
Be full of what?
Connection terminated.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed.
What the? Why is
You are
this
not
guy
to
here?
receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called.
What's going on?
You have all been called here.
Just listen.
Into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection, and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit. A maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you.
Volunteer?
Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be.
What?
I am remaining as well. I am nearby.
Wait, the
This
heat.
place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should.
What's happening right now?
And to you monsters
Whoa,
trapped
what
in
the-
corridors,
She's burning.
be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you.
This place is catching on
For most
fire!
of you, I
Freddy.
believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend.
Burn, crap
My
trap.
daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms, the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends, for all of us, in communication.
So every 3 games we just start forest fires?
Congratulations on completing your work week.
We're
We
dead.
apologize if your situation wasn't presented to you in a completely honest fashion when you first started, but it was important that your intentions and actions be genuine.
We died because
Here
of
at
that?
Fazbear Entertainment, we value fun, family, and food.
And
But
death.
more importantly, we value our commitment to atoning for past mistakes and tying up loose ends.
Past
Thank you
mistakes?
for your participation. There is no need for you to return to work next week, as Fazbear Entertainment is no longer a corporate entity.
What?
Please accept this certificate of completion. Goodbye for now, and thank you for taking this journey with us.
I don't have the words right now, but what Poptropica Island did we just get done exploring?
That's how the game ends. What even just happened?
Joe, you better get those lips to start moving because you got some extra explaining to do.
Well, this job wasn't entirely truthful to us. We were hired here to run our own restaurant, but the main goal was to gather those animatronics all in one place. Those were souls trapped in those animatronics, and the guy that hired us intended for them to be released.
What a snake.
He was talking about setting up this elaborate scheme, but he also talked about his daughter, too. Apparently, she was a victim.
Not just a victim, she was the victim. She was the child that died outside the original restaurant and became the marionette. This is also why he says such distasteful things about Scraptrap. Who is William Afton and the guy that murdered his daughter?
So this entire time we were just doing his bidding work?
You would do anything it takes to get your children back. And if you can't do that, at least know they're in a better place.
And then what? We just went up in flames?
Exactly. Everyone went down with the ship, the man speaking included.
He wanted to burn the entire place and wanted to finally end everything. So he had us help. What about FNAF 3? I thought we freed the souls then.
We freed some, but not all. After all, why do you think William is called Scraptrap? The cutscene with him outside the restaurant is him after he escaped Fazbear's fright.
So this game takes place after everything, including sister location.
Which is why Circus Baby looks like that too. Wait, was she close to him as well? He called her Elizabeth, so he knows who she is.
That's for the lore recap. There's still a lot more we have to cover with this game.
Of course, the party never ends.
So to spoil some obvious answers, there are multiple endings to this game. However, it would be nonsensical to play through all the endings solely due to how much time it would take.
Wait, how many endings are there?
In total, there's 6, but we're just going to be seeing the final outcomes. We won't be actually playing through any of these.
And Martin Scorsese says cinema is dead.
Well, I had nothing important to do besides something for Michelle. Between mutant animatronics, and an angry wife. I'll take my chances with Scraptrap.
You gave it your best shot. You went all in. You put all your eggs into one basket and did the unthinkable.
Yes, sir, we
You
did.
ran out of cash.
What?
While we
Donald's getting
encourage
trauma
entrepreneurs
flashbacks.
to follow their dreams, we also recognize a lost cause when we see one.
A lost
There
cause?
are no do-overs, and we trust that you know your way out. But before you go, take this certificate
There's
of
no way.
bankruptcy.
Now,
Now do everyone a favor and get lost.
you can't be laughing because I got us that sweet, sweet certificate of completion.
I'm surprised Don didn't single-handedly cause this ending himself. It's almost impressive considering his hotels look like crack dens now.
Okay, so what else do we have in the shame factory, Joe? When's the car crashing into the building and causing several casualties ending?
So this ending is if we denied every single salvage and kept our restaurant at the bare minimum. Bottom of the barrel we're talking about here.
Interesting to see this one.
Congratulations! You've completed a full week on the job, and you've done it in such a lackluster way that no one is proud or disappointed.
Excuse me?
It's a fine line to walk, but you did it, completing your job with such an efficient level of laziness that we're surprised you're able to dress yourself in the morning.
Sounds like Don, all
While
right.
such a minimalist work ethic is rare, it doesn't mean that we want you back. In fact, it means you should look for employment elsewhere.
Of
But
course.
before you go,
Certificate of
take this
mediocrity?
Certificate of mediocrity.
This is
You
just
should be proud. You stood on 2 feet and convinced someone that you could do something when in fact you couldn't. Now get out.
in other words, I present to you a collection of recent U.S. presidents.
Hey,
Don't worry, I'm including all of us.
Hey,
You have no reason to be surprised. Joe, maybe, but you know.
if you haven't recognized the common theme, it revolves around certificates. I know that sounds boring, but hold on to your seats because it gets interesting.
who died this time?
Congratulations on completing the week. Unfortunately, you did not meet your special obligations under paragraph 4. Your employment is terminated. We'll mail you your things. End tape.
Wait, what? We got terminated because we didn't fill our special obligations?
I don't know what he's talking about, but I don't get on my knees for anybody.
The way you could get this ending is by throwing a salvage in the back alley. It's actually a good thing that Donald never threw one back there because it is required for us in the contract to complete that obligation. Failure to do so would lead to termination like we saw here.
You're telling me Donald did something right?
How does it feel to be bested once again by the world's best security guard?
Donald, we died so many times that James A. Janice is talking about us.
I don't know why they're there other than to die, but they definitely do that.
All right, so the next ending is where things get a bit more interesting, if you catch my drift.
The only drift I caught was the Old Man perfume that your wife helped spray on you this morning. It's like Old Navy met a prison ship.
It's a good thing we don't do watch parties because half of us would expire by the time the film started.
Congratulations! By some miracle, you've completed a full week on the job.
It is me,
Here
after
at
all.
Fazbear Entertainment, we encourage a healthy spirit of entrepreneurship, which sometimes means taking risks.
Donald moment.
But you took it a step further.
What
You
now?
were reckless and borderline criminally negligent in almost every decision that you made.
What?
So much so that you've been deemed a liability hazard, even for us.
It is you,
We'll
after
mail
all.
you your final paycheck, minus the costs of wiping the security footage clean and erasing all trace of your employment from our files.
This is so
But don't
stupid.
feel like you're leaving empty-handed.
Blacklisted?
Take this blacklist certificate.
Donald,
You'll be lucky to ever find employment in this town again. Now take care.
it's just fitting to your name at this point. The only tycoon game they have so far, and of course it loops in your specialties of bankruptcy and blacklists. Game must be cheating again.
Fine by me, as long as I get out of this pathetic pizzeria with my head twisted on right. They could put me on the rainbow list for all I care.
You don't have to worry. I'm sure a couple of artists have booked you on that for years.
All right, gentlemen, this is where the knob gets turned up on the stove.
Not like we already got baked like Papa's Pizzeria.
Wait, why are we in the catalog? I thought we were focusing on the endings of the game.
You don't have to worry about that. We still are.
This is how we get an ending? By purchasing great value Dr. Robotnik? I mean, he has a red rocket the size of a Chaos Emerald.
The specifics aren't what's important, Don. What matters is the result of these specific actions, to which you're about to see in a second.
All right, so what's the magic that you're referring to?
For this ending, you turn off the monitor. Then you place the cursor on that button right there, and then you would hold it.
It's only now that I understand the depth of the
What the-
depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create.
Blueprints?
As if what he had already done wasn't enough.
Did we discover his plans?
To desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough. The loss of innocence, the loss of everything to so many people. Small souls trapped in prisons of my making, now set to new purpose, and used in ways I never thought imaginable.
It must be.
He lured them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks.
We caught him in this ending.
Them all together. Are they still aware? I hope not. It keeps me awake at night. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound.
He's talking about William.
First inflicted on me, but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this. He set some kind of trap. I don't know what it was, but he led them there again. He overpowered them again, and he robbed them of the only thing that they had again.
Again?
I don't know how those tiny breaths of life came to inhabit those machines.
And I do?
They will never find rest now, not like this. I have to call them all back, all of them, together in one place.
So this is if we found out about his plans.
Congratulations! You went somewhere you weren't supposed to go, saw something you weren't supposed to see, and prevented a tidy resolution to a messy problem. Needless to say, you're fired.
You caused
But
this.
before you go, take this certificate of insanity.
Insanity?
We're giving it to you to ensure that no one believes you, and to ensure that we can promptly replace you without incident.
What?
There is a truck waiting for you outside.
What?
Take care.
Take care. I tried to take care of my own living and breathing body, and I get sent to the asylum for that? This guy's a walking poop sack.
So the reason he said all that was because we discovered his plans to free those souls, and he needed to get everyone in one place to do so.
Also because you know that we knew he couldn't allow the truth to get out. As such, he prevented us from doing so.
You know, I've never felt more mentally exhausted from a game.
What other horrors do we have to witness?
Just one last thing.
Wait, is this the credits?
No, this is after you get the Lore Keeper ending. It's about certain mini-games, but it's just about the puppet and one of the murders, most of which you already know. I'll show you after the recording. I'm honestly just so exhausted I want to get done.
Yeah, that's not going to upset our audience at all. They won't be able to hear our reaction, which is us staring in silence and then screaming like a Mr. Beast fan.
All jokes aside, this is relaxing. Remember that feeling of relief we got once we got the good ending for the third game? Even though we were a sacrifice, we did end this. It's done.
I would suggest to play that song now if it wasn't copyright.
Actually, my assistant did say he learned it. I think there's a video on here somewhere if you want me to pull it up.
Sure, why not? Would make for a good segue to whatever we're doing next.
Huh, not bad. Well, that's a wrap, boys. On to the lore recap.
Someone help me. It's Donald Trump here wanting to thank all of our members for supporting us. We can't thank you enough. If you would like to become a member and see exclusive content, click the link in the description.